Logged off my phone. I downed the hostile. Down another. Reload. All father, give me sight. Grenade! Throwing thermite grenade. Touche me! Grenade! Down the hostile on Scotty. Reloading.
What's up guys, TheeConciseKing here with another Apex Legends guide. This week we're tapping into the technological tracker themselves, the God Detective, the Outlands legend, the most aggressive tracker on the game, the Tony Stark of the game, no, the Bruce Wayne of the game, or the Shuri of the game. Yes, you know the name Bloodhound, guys. Now, if you like what you see here today, do not hesitate to like, subscribe, and share. But without further ado, let's get right into it. Alright y'all, let's get right to it. Bloodhound, real name unknown, real age unknown. Very little biographical information when it comes to Bloodhound. From the planet Talos. Parents were industrial engineers, lost them to a facility meltdown, went under the wing of their uncle, Arthur, who taught them the glorifying ways of nature, all while still refuting basically modern technology and its progression. But still, even through all those learnings, that didn't stop Bloodhound from going on to marvel in the technology world, as we can see. So that's why the use of their equipment, their heat signature use, their ability to track really makes them an essential legend, especially for rank matching. So in trying to decide which legend I wanted to do a guide on next, it really hit me. I think I'm just going to cover all the legends that don't have dip out ability first. They really are essential legends, and they really have to stand their ground. And in being that, it makes the game more challenging for a player, but also in doing that, you also are building better confidence in yourself. And if you have those two things, you allow yourself to be as aggressive as you want. Alright guys, here are 3 tips and tricks that will make you an effective Bloodhound player. Number 1, lead the team, scan the team. Number 2, remember your team. And number 3, rage responsibly. Alright guys, now before we dive into number 1, as I wait for my webcam to get delivered to me slowly but surely so that I can get my live streaming and Twitch streaming started up, I would love to propose if I could gain at least 10 subscribers between this guide and next week's guide. They say you gotta start somewhere, and I feel like 10 is not a bad number. I didn't even think last week I could get 10 views on my video, but I did. So if you like the content you guys see here today, all created, edited, and directed by me, please feel free to like, subscribe, and share with love, y'all. Without further ado, let's get into number 1. Lead the team, scan the team. Now, the first thing I want to dive into is Bloodhound's passive.
First blood. Contact. Marking our surroundings.
Now, tracker is Bloodhound's passive ability. See recent footsteps, it'll come up as this little, I'll call it a little sticky note, a little scribe that'll come up. It'll let you know about recent footsteps, enemy footsteps that have been here, all the way up to maybe I want to say between a minute to a minute and 30 seconds. So anything from recent enemy footsteps to if they were healing here, if they were taking cover, if a fight just ended here, it will appear as about 3 color indicators: red, yellow, and white. Red being the hottest of the hottest indicator that the enemy is close, if not in your proximity, in your face. So just get ready to shoot. Yellow being, hey, you're getting close, but you're not quite there yet, but they definitely are around, and you could catch them if you put a little pep in your step. And the white being, bro, super far, icy cold. That team could be dead or on the other side of the map. Start walking. Alright guys, so let's talk about the nest of crows that we always see randomly with Bloodhound. There's a myth, no one really knows what the crows are really or indicator for, what they do, if they help Bloodhound in any way. But I'll note that anytime I've ever seen the crows is when I'm coming up fresh on a white tracker. Maybe there was a fight that just happened, and maybe the crows are leading. They're like, to me, they've always been like this indicator of leading me to nearby enemy footsteps to where I can then start tracking them down. So if you ever see a nest of crows just literally fly out the middle of nowhere, there could be a battle nearby. It could be for the gaming style purposes, but just keep an eye out. Always good to know. Now, before we move on to Bloodhound's tactical, note that his tracker is not just only his tracker. It's much like Wraith and or Bangalore's, hey, someone's aiming at me, hey, someone's shooting at me. You can also very much mark out a indicator of footsteps if a enemy team was just here or healing up to let your team know and gauge how you guys want to get to the fight or approach the fight. Eye of the All-Father is Bloodhound's tactical. So what does Eye of the All-Father do? It's a proximity tracker that reveals nearby enemy locations. You can see enemy movement through figures. You can see traps, and both all of those things will indicate as yellow features, yellow enemy movement. I know that in the earlier seasons you could only see the last enemy marked location when you scan, but now it is completely updated to real-time movement. So if you see they're moving, to take cover or moving out to come attack you, you can definitely meet them there. Like I said, all heat signatures will, especially except for when you are using your ultimate, all heat signatures will indicate as yellow. Now, in order to use Eye of the All-Father, you want to be as close to the enemies as possible. It has a certain meter or a certain parameter as to how far out you can scan. So definitely try to be, as near the enemy as possible to get a good scan off. Keep in mind that not only you can see your scan, but your team can see your scan as well. Those enemies and those traps will be highlighted for them as well. But also the enemy team can see your scan. The best time to scan to me is right before attacking a team. If you're approaching a team, if you're fighting another team, try to get that scan off as much as you can so you and your team can gauge how you want to approach this fight. Now, say if a team just got done fighting, maybe they knew you guys were going to try the third party before, or they're expecting you guys to. Your scan can also be an indicator of your position and your location. It can give away all that you guys are exactly about to do. So it's really all about timing with the scan. I try to use the scan as much as possible. Wow, look at this, guys. After all that craziness, I was able to get this scan off. Definitely indicate to my team that we need to reposition, and we were able to do so. Now, I call it tip number one, lead the team, scan the team, because notice, guys, how me and Lifeline have just been head and head as far as leading the team, trying to get through, get some loot. You have your Bloodhound. You have the nose. You have the capabilities to find the next exchange for you and your team. So it's always important that you are in front. I know, guys, it can be crazy, but listen, he's an aggressive legend. You have to use him as such. You have to really be the leading factor for your team. Now, say if you have maybe a Wraith or an Octane, but still, I think no matter what, a Bloodhound should always be in front. Letting you guys know if you're about to run into trouble, catching things before they take off. So lead the team, scan the team. All right, let's get to tip number two, which is remember your team, aka remember you have a team. Now, I made this tip up because, listen, playing a aggressive character like an Octane or a Wraith or a Bloodhound, it is very easy for us to get lost, as I kind of do here. I'm going to flank to hit this Bangalore, and while doing so, I kind of get away from my team, and they both eventually go down. Now, keep in mind that playing with the Bloodhound, because you have the upper hand on other characters, because you have the capability to see them, that was a cheat for Mike. I don't know why she's not burning up yet. Because you have the capability to see them before they see you, it's easy for you to just want to separate from your team and go in and get those kills because, you want to rank up, and it's just how we play. It's what this game is about. But in doing so, you just have to remember that, like a Wraith, when she takes too much damage and she needs to void out, or a Pathfinder, or even, a Crypto, you are leaving your team disadvantaged. Sorry, not a Crypto. You're leaving your team disadvantaged. You're leaving it to be maybe a 2v1, a 1v3. So this game, like I said, is super team oriented. We figured that out during the Watson Apex guide. So it's just it goes for every legend. It's better to stay together. You can take down teams faster. it's better to have comms. You can communicate even better. But during this fight, we were able to recover. But just leaving them to get down, leaving your team to get down, they have to get up, they have to reload their weapons, they have to, get a battery off, especially if you don't have characters who can create different kinds of transportation or different kinds of places for you guys to go heal. It's a bit difficult. Here's another example of remember your team. This Wraith, of course, I was not leading the team, scanning the team, so she was in front of me, goes off, bumps into a whole team. They just down her immediately. Try to go help the Mirage, who goes to get the revive, but he gets down immediately. And just look how far I am from my team. And I hate being those players and playing with those players who they want to step in now that the team is down, and now you have to 1v3 the team. I was able to take out 2 of them, but of course another team comes to attack me, and I was not able to pull it off, sending it right back to the lobby. Like I said, I don't ever want to be that player coming in to try to save the day. And there's also another important tip. I didn't scan. And I had my scan available. I didn't scan. This Octane was able to put me down even though I got that battery off. And I kind of wanted to rewind just to show you guys where I kind of went wrong. Just too far away from my team. It was a nice scan. And I just wasn't there quick enough for that Mirage to help to help support him. I wasn't quick enough there for him. And it results in those. Now, let's get into tip number 3. Rage responsibly. Now, this is continued footage from the top of the game. That Revenant that I did save, was able to save, actually left the game. And I wanted to tie in number 3 with Bloodhound's ultimate. Beast of the Hunt.
They got the champion.
Tracker to scanning, all enemies will appear red. You will still be able to see tracker indicators. They are actually even more high end, even more concise. That's me, no pun intended. But this also ties into remembering. This is what I mean. This is like going Bruce Banner. This is like going Hulk mad, to where everything is red. You see targets. You can scan, and it's just you want to attack. So I say rage responsibly. Just because you can see everyone does not mean that they cannot see you. So take note here, guys. There are a lot of teams here in this segment, but I'm trying to take cover as much as I can. I had, unfortunately, one of those cryptos that like attacking in the open, and so this was a pretty hard scenario. I was just trying to eliminate all that I could with what that I could. But keep in mind to rage responsibly. Keep in mind to continue to scan, even though you have your ultimate ability. Now, your ultimate ability still, your seconds can be, I think there's about 45 seconds for that ultimate. I think you can continue to extend that the more damage you get and the more kills that you get. So the longer you beast mode, the better your beast mode. Now, sadly enough, because that whole team is still alive, they were able to eliminate most of the other teams with my help, of course. I was not able to pull this off and get a revive or retrieve that banner whatsoever. It was a 1v3. But so look, one might ask, when's the best time to use Beast of the Hunt? During fights. To fight. Big fights, especially big fights, third parties, small fights, it's about getting a sense. To me, Beast of the Hunt is about getting a sense of the playing field. And how you want to gauge this fight. How do you want to approach this fight? And I wouldn't advise you to use Beast of the Hunt like someone may use Wraith's Portal. You drive it right into the fight without having any recollection of how you're going to get out of here. Or what's your next move. And lastly, before I go, it has been said in the Apex universe that Bloodhound is of gender non-conforming identity. So we don't really know if the legend is a he or a she. But nonetheless, still an awesome and pretty cool character. And I love the inconspicuousness to it. Alright guys, that is it for my Bloodhound Apex Legends guide, tips, and tricks. You want to track down those fights, you want to find those fights, you want to find that aggressiveness in you and keep up with the confidence, guys. And enjoy some additional footage of me raging responsibly, of course. Until then, I will see you guys next week with another Apex Legends guide. Stay safe, guys. Stay healthy. Keep the love, always. Concise King, out.
First blood. Scanning the area. Target spotted. Scanning the area.
Firing.
Flag grenade sent.
Enemy down.
In the area.
Attention. New kill leader. Closing.
We have the benefits. We are inside the ring.
Delivering care.
Hostile spotted. Care package on high. Favor from the gods. Hostile spotted. Marking our surroundings. Contact with hostile. Recharging my
Shot at.
Trust in the Allfather.
Reloading. Throwing thermite grenade.
Marking our surroundings.
Reloading.
Zone arc star.
Enemy down. Attention. The kill leader has been eliminated.
We've destroyed the kill leader. Hostile over there. Not traveled through here. Careful, new kill leader. Marking our surroundings. Reloading.
Attention. The kill.
Allfather, give me sight.
Reloading. They spotted me. Getting shot at. Reloading. Void jumping.
I'm taking fire.
Recharging my shields.
Recharging my shields. The ring is close. Marking our surroundings. I'm taking fire.
Frag out. Less than 30 seconds.
Taking a moment. Let's go this way.
They spotted me. I'm taking shots. Destroying the base.
Making contact with enemy.
Need to recharge my shield.
Bless me with sight.
10 seconds. The ring's close.
Frag grenade set. Calling upon nature's strength.
Heads up.
Downed a hostile on Scotty. Reloading.
Opening fire. Reloading.
Sight.
You are the Apex Champions.